Hi there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dietitian Teresa here, certified personal trainer, and I love making videos about all things women's health and fitness, teaching you how to nourish your body properly and really put the focus on becoming the most strongest and nourished self. And what that means to me in my eyes is just learning how to fuel your body for balanced hormones that really help your body adapt through your training style, and focusing on building muscle that is putting us at a metabolic advantage for years down the line, and also for that longevity factor that most of us are striving for. Basically, what I want to talk about today is these 5 questions, talk about them, and help you understand what pre-workout nutrition can look like. And I want to tailor this to the woman that strength train and give you a little bit better guidance on that and bring more clarity if need be. So questions that we're going to go through is, should you eat protein before a workout? Should you eat fat before a workout? When to eat a pre-workout snack? Talking about how much should you eat before a workout, and then do you have to eat before a workout? So we're going to cover all of those questions in today's video. So let's hop right on into it. First thing we're going over is, should you eat protein before a strength training workout? So this is a topic that is pre and post-workout nutrition has been really well researched by the International Society of Sports Nutrition. And what I gathered from my research and looking into things and experience, these recommendations are going to be more so about the generalized guidelines, and it's going to vary for everybody because everybody has such unique needs. I talk a lot about protein in this channel, but what adequate protein intake can actually do for your body, when combined with strength training, it actually has been shown to increase muscle protein synthesis and improve muscle recovery and actually improve performance in the gym. Protein post-workout is commonly talked about, but actually pre-workout protein in a specific amount, doesn't need to be a large amount depending on the timing of that meal, can actually have benefits too, like increased muscle growth potential, improved recovery, and reducing that excess muscle damage that can be broken down in your strength training workouts, depending on the intensity always. Now moving into, should you eat before a workout? Listen, this is something that becomes so individualized, but if you're a woman that strength trains for your general overall health, you might be in a body recomp phase where you're trying to build that muscle, lose body fat, or even like just in this phase of like, you just want to do better for yourself. So you might think when you hear pre-workout, you think, okay, carbs, that's what we need. Not necessarily. When we eat carbs, it turns into glycogen in our body. So we use glycogen in our body as our main fuel source to keep us going. Our brain runs mainly from that fuel source, is carbs. So that glycogen really helps our neurons fire, helps us be alive and well with sustaining energy. But mainly, if you want carbohydrate focus, that is the main fuel source for like our higher intensity short workout. Now that we talked about protein and what that can do for you, we're gonna hop into, so should you eat fat before a workout? You might think when it comes to pre-workout, you think automatically carbs, because carbs fuel, carbs quick energy, but it's not always necessarily the case depending on the intensity of your workout's duration, so on and so forth. So the glycogen that carbs essentially break down into in our body is necessary for very short, high intensity workouts. So if you're not doing something like CrossFit elite level workout, the amount of carbohydrate doesn't necessarily need to be as high or as simple right before a workout. Consuming some fats pre-workout can actually improve satiety and help with that longer fuel. Because if you think, fats break down a lot slower than carbohydrates do. So it's going to be lasting energy for you. So if you have a while before your workout and you have a longer, lower intensity workout, adding some fats to your pre-workout snack or meal will be very helpful in the fact of like keeping that energy sustained after the carbs have been burned through. But it is really important to keep in mind that you don't want to overdo the fats, because that can actually lead to some digestive discomfort during your workout because they digest so slowly. Now we're gonna move into when to eat a pre-workout snack. So the exact macronutrient ratio is going to vary from person to person. This includes factors that I consider when figuring out what that individual needs for their intake would be: what are your goals? What's the workout type, your duration, frequency, and your personal digestion. This is sometimes a trial and error of like, oh, this combination worked, but this one didn't so much. So you get to play around with it and experiment what works best for you. For fat loss and body recomp, I would really recommend focusing on getting in some sort of protein source and adjust the carbs as needed depending on how far out you are from the workout and also the intensity of that session as well. We will dive into some general pre-workout nutrition guidelines that I have found in my research and through my work to help you determine maybe like when and what to eat pre-workout that works best for you. So we're gonna start off with farther out before your workout. So let's say it's 3 to 4 hours before a workout. Let's say you are eating lunch at noon, you work out right after work at like 4 p.m. or something like that. Let's just put that into this scenario. So the further you are from your workout, the larger the meal will be or snack will be. I want you to remember that. And so if it's 3 to 4 hours, we want to really focus on a balanced meal. So basically it's gonna be a meal, so consisting of a carbohydrate, protein, and a fat. This will leave you plenty of time to digest that meal and you will feel full and comfortable into your workout. As that time goes, your muscle glycogen levels will be optimized in that time to really enhance performance in that workout. With that meal, you want to focus on complex carbohydrates. You can include whole grains, potatoes, beans, lentils. Rice is an option as well, but rice is kind of broken down quicker, but the other ones take longer to digest and will help sustain your energy during your workout. Along with those carbs, you want to include a protein and a fat. So we're making a meal. So it could be like in this clip here, I'm making some ground beef and zucchini and peppers. So some other examples could be if you're working out in the morning, like have your meal in the morning 3 to 4 hours before you work out. That could be oatmeal with some peanut butter, a scoop of protein powder in there, like a protein oats combination. Or you could do a couple of eggs with a fourth of an avocado on some sourdough toast or toast of your choice, and have that as your meal. Now, let's move into 1 to 2 hours before a workout. If your workout is falling between meals like lunch and dinner, and you don't have dinner till like 7 p.m., but you eat lunch at noon, we need something in the middle of there to support your energy levels and improve the opportunity for that muscle growth potential in that workout. So at this time, 1 to 2 hours before, we want to focus on consuming a source of carbs and protein. Fats are a little less important at this time because, again, we don't need as much of that because it's a little closer to the workout. Some examples of this include a slice of toast. My favorite is sourdough with a tablespoon of peanut butter or almond butter, or you could sub that for an apple with nut butter. Another option would be a 1/3 cup of granola with 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. Or you could do a couple of rice cakes. Those are easy to grab, easy to take with you, with 1/2 cup of cottage cheese that you can dip into it. I like adding everything but the bagel seasoning to spice it up a bit. Doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can be as simple as you need it to be. All right, so we just talked about 1 to 2 hours. Now let's go into 30 minutes to an hour before your workout. So the closer we're getting to the workout, where we want to focus on easy to digest foods, or more so like your simple carbohydrate. So you want to limit the consumption of fiber and high fat, because that can actually lead to that digestive discomfort, bloat, gas, just not feeling great because it takes so long to digest and break down. Like, you can think about consuming those more high glycemic foods during this time. So a piece of fruit, like a banana, you could do a little dabble of honey or something, or some toast with honey, something like that, that will get your body up. Now let's say it's a very low intense 30-minute session. Not necessarily you need a ton of carbs, but a little something, even like a little protein bite, like those peanut butter chocolate protein bites could be a very good option to take with you. Protein can be beneficial, like we talked about 3 to 4 hours before, 2 to 3 hours before, but when we 1 to 2 hours before, but if we are 30 minutes to an hour, protein, again, like that's something that takes longer to digest, so we don't need as much. So we want to focus more so on planning ahead, and if you can get the bulk of your protein in at your meals, that's great, so you don't have to squeeze so much in like 30 minutes before. But like for the 30 minutes to 1 hour could be a banana, a handful of dried fruit. You could also do 4 ounces of fruit juice or some Gatorade to get you some carbs in your system. Well, now that we've talked about like the timing, let's talk about how much you should eat before a workout. Again, this depends. It's always, my answer is always gonna be depends, because I can't give out specific recommendations. But in general, if you are on a fat loss journey and you are strength training just for building muscle, ideally you want to focus on consuming those larger meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 times a day. Get the bulk of your protein, carbs, fats in there. And then your workout, you can top that off depending on when that is. 30 to 60 minutes with a little bit of carbohydrate support from the examples that I said before. Another great option, I don't think I mentioned this, would be just a slice of toast with some jam. Like it literally could be that, or a granola bar, something like that that you have on hand 30 to 60 minutes before. Yeah. So now let's move on to this question, which is, do you have to eat before a workout? Now, not everybody needs to have a pre-workout snack. Again, depends greatly on when you're working out during the day. But like if you need to get your workout early in the morning, let's say a 5:30 a.m. workout, no, like I'm not expecting you to wake up 3 to 4 hours early to get a whole meal in. That's not realistic. I would definitely say is plan ahead and be like, okay, can I at least wake up 30 minutes prior to get in some good fuel? So what I like to do, which is really light on the stomach, would be like even just half a slice of toast with a little bit of peanut butter smear on there. You could also do like just some jam on there just to get you something to fuel. A banana, like half banana with just a spoonful, like a small spoonful of peanut butter. That way you have something in your system, and I've noticed such a great difference with that in morning workouts. Is like, okay, I feel so much better in a sense of like I can push more in the gym. Like I feel like I can push the weight more, and my endurance is better. Like I feel better overall. And of course it's been trial and error for me too. Some things haven't sat well in my stomach, so you just say, okay, I'm not doing that again, so I'll just try something, a different combination that'll work. And again, those peanut butter protein bites work phenomenally. I've made Kodiak cake muffins or like protein muffins, and I'll have like a small one of that or half it if it's a large muffin. That way there's something in my system. Or even like half of a protein shake if that works for you. Half scoop of protein in there. I want you to keep in mind though, like with athletes, like if you are an athlete and you have intense training regimens, you are gonna have special and specific needs. If you are like the general woman that is working out consistently, pushing it in the gym, progressive overload, striving for your body recomp, fat loss goals, yeah, you want to support your nutrition, but do we have to be fueling like an elite athlete? Not necessarily, but we want to make sure our body is adequately fueled. And using the tips that I talked about in this video can really help you do that. Marathon, and like let's say you have like 3 to 5 mile runs in the morning multiple times a week, yeah, you're probably gonna need a full slice of toast with a full banana and a drizzle of honey and a tablespoon of peanut butter, because you need that extra storage of glycogen in your system to get you through that run, but you also need the support of some fat and protein to sustain that longer endurance, right? So carbs burn quick, but fat and protein burn slower, but you don't want to do so much so of those slower burning foods that it causes digestive discomfort. This whole video is just about educating you, and I want you to take what you need, leave what you don't. What you eat before a workout really truly can have a big impact on your performance and your progress. I've noticed a difference personally from using a pre-workout like snack, early morning workout, and I feel like I'm not so physically drained and exhausted as I am, because I have something in my system that's supporting my efforts in the gym and the workout. I would just take this information and try it out. Try out some of the snacks that I recommended and see if it works for you, but it's gonna be a trial and error of what foods digest well for you too. Again, like, take what you need, leave what you don't, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and it helped you out in any way possible. Stay strong, stay nourished, and I'll see you in the next one.